Hi, Libby here with another segment on how to call follow spots. Another day, another hotel room. Today it's a Marriott in Huntsville, Alabama. And yes, I went to the Rocket Park today. It was awesome. Everybody should go. And today I just have a couple of quick topics to touch on in no particular order. One of the things important about calling follow spots is picking your follow spots. And that involves figuring out which ones have the best shots, which ones are the brightest and dimmest, as we've already discussed, but also which ones have obstructions. Pay very close attention to this, especially in arenas, which tend to have the worst obstructions, and sometimes performing arts centers. In the arenas, it's going to be steel and girders and sometimes scoreboards, sometimes even the PA, if the spots are in baskets on the extreme sides of the room. And in performing arts centers, it's not uncommon for your lights to be shooting through lighting fixtures or to be shooting through a little boxy window that used to be where a projector played movies. And now they jammed a follow spot in it, but it has limited means of travel. There's very little more annoying than picking your spots and giving your spot meeting and getting on headset. You check everyone in, everyone knows their home targets, and then often right before you call house lights, somebody cheerfully chirps, "Just so you know, I can't hit the stage left third of the stage." Awesome. Now you have to renumber and reassign targets in seconds, and you've thrown yourself off your game, and now your spots have to unlearn the information you just shared with them and relearn some new information, and it seldom works well for everybody. Don't change spot numbers if you don't have to, which means don't pick bad spots. Make sure that the spotlight you pick for your keyboard player is not the one that cannot, in fact, hit the keyboards. That sort of thing. I have made this mistake many times over the years, always because I got complacent about checking for obstructions. And be smarter than I am. Don't do it. Check for obstructions. Don't get caught. That's one thing. Another topic just to touch on briefly is sizes. While you, of course, will have a preferred size for your follow spots based on how they move, what they wear, is you're the guy who climbs scaffolding, you're probably going to have a bigger shot size. If you have any unusual sizes, do be sure to tell your spots about it beforehand, just to give them a heads up that it's coming. If you have any weird moments, like you're going to want somebody to iris down on your artist's hands on the guitar, be sure, first of all, that the spot will get that small, but second of all, be sure the operator knows they're going to be required to get the shot that small. This is also true of shots that are trick shots or unusual things in your show. If your entire show, your lead singer is discovered at center stage, and then there's one cue where she's supposed to miraculously appear on the side of the stage through a hidden door in the set, warn your spot op that there is a strange pickup of that nature. I have many times had dress shots for my performing artist women who wore ball gowns, and you don't want the shot necessarily on their face. There's a trick that's very effective, especially with a big shiny silver or white or pale colored ball gown, which is, in addition to having the spot that is, of course, lighting your artist full front, have a spot with a soft edge that is lighting them from the neck down. And you can do some great coloration on dresses. But if you're going to have a shot where the spot op is not supposed to hit the artist's face, you need to make that very clear, because that's an unusual shot. I had Natalie Cole lit in a white dress with a spot right on either side of the proscenium, and one hit her with blue on one side and one hit with red on the other, and it just carved this beautiful shape out of this white dress. But of course, you can't have blue and red on your artist's face, so the shots were from the neck down, and you need to explain things like that very clearly to your operators so they know what's going on. Otherwise, they may not believe they're not supposed to not be on the artist's face. It's an honest mistake. They're used to lighting people's faces. So that's the thing about some sizes, some trick shots. You may want to rehearse any really difficult pickups if you can do so in a place where it's not too obvious. Years ago on an ice skating show, I had what I called a clock shot. Out of a blackout, an artist was discovered standing center stage, and one by one, 12 follow spots popped in a circle around the skater. That's something you're going to want to practice that. And you can do that in a hockey arena under bright white hockey walk-in lights because no one's paying attention. But if you have some tricks, make sure the operators know about them. You may want to rehearse them. What else? Let's talk for a minute about video. If they are coming to video a live event that is not an event for television, like the Grammys are only staged for television, the live audience is almost irrelevant. Your event, our events, we're talking about live, typically rock and roll shows. They may want to come in and shoot them for 1 or 2 days on the tour just to archive it, even if they're not releasing a DVD right away. This will change your world. If you haven't done this before, you need to know that your show is going to be dim and weird looking. You can forget almost everything you know about follow spots. You're going to want to talk to the director of photography. You're going to need to white balance your spots. You're going to need to color shift your palettes. Make sure that you have color correction gel ordered ahead of time. That is CTO or CTB and neutral densities and frost. Get a couple of sheets of gel because you're going to have to change your color almost certainly for the cameras. You may have to change your call for the cameras. There are typically no full blackouts if your show is being shot in video. The camera always needs something to look at. You may need to hang extra lights to light the audience, but even so, they may ask you just to keep a dim light, usually in white, dim white light on stage all the time. So get ready for weirdness, have good long conversations with your director of photography, and finally, shameless plug here, my very good friend and mentor Jeff Rabbitt has written a book exactly touching on this subject. It is all about how to do this when you have a show that is not natively supposed to be a TV show. And it is called Lighting for Televised Live Events. And it is more than you can possibly imagine on that subject, which has made him an expert in the field, which is why he has a shelf full of Emmy Awards. So there you go. Jeff Rabbitt's book, highly recommended. Be ready for weirdness if they're shooting your show. And I think that's about it for today. And if I think of anything else, we'll do it again. All right.